The desert air shimmered, a heat haze dancing above the cracked asphalt of a forgotten highway. Jim Morrison, a ghost of his former self, leaned against a rusted-out Cadillac, its fins like decaying wings. He was far from the concert halls and screaming fans, far from the velvet-draped illusions of Hollywood. He was running, always running, but now he wasn't sure what he was running from, or running to. The Lizard King, the persona he'd birthed on stage, had become a prison. It clung to him like a second skin, suffocating the boy who'd once dreamed of poetry, the student who'd yearned for truth. Now all he felt was the weight of expectation, the hunger in the eyes of those who wanted a spectacle, a shaman, a messiah. He was none of those things, just a broken man lost in a desert of his own making. He'd started seeing them, shadows on the edge, whispers in the roar of the wind, men in dark suits, always watching. He told Pam, his soulmate and tormentor, about them, but she'd just dismissed it as another drug-fueled delusion. But he knew they were there, pulling strings, manipulating the narrative. He wasn't sure why they were after him. Perhaps because he'd glimpsed something they didn't want him to see about the world, about the control they wielded beneath the glittering surface. He'd begun to distrust everyone as bandmates, once brothers in arms, now seemed distant, their eyes filled with a mixture of pity and resentment. The producers, the hangers-on, the groupies, they were all playing roles, puppets in a grand theater he no longer understood. He felt like he was trapped in a hall of mirrors, each reflection distorted, grotesque, revealing only fragments of the real Jim Morrison. A fragile thing buried beneath layers of performance and addiction. One night, under a sky thick with stars that offered no comfort, he stumbled upon a deserted roadside diner. The neon sign flickered, a broken promise of warmth and companionship inside. A lone waitress with tired eyes wiped down the counter. He sat down, ordered black coffee, and watched her. He imagined a life for her, a life of quiet normalcy, a life untouched by the madness that consumed him. He envied her. As he drank his coffee, a figure emerged from the shadows, a man in a dark suit, one of them. He sat down across from Jim, his face obscured by the dim light. "Mr. Morrison," the man said, his voice smooth, almost hypnotic. "We've been watching you. You've become disruptive." Jim stared at him, fear coiling in his gut. "What do you want?" he croaked. "We want you to go away," the man replied, "to disappear, to become someone else." He offered Jim a folder thick with documents, passports, identity papers, a new life waiting in a far-off land. A chance to escape the Lizard King, to become someone new. But at what cost? Jim looked at the folder, then at the waitress, then back at the man. A flicker of defiance ignited within him. He might be broken, lost, and paranoid, but he wasn't ready to surrender. He wasn't ready to let them erase him completely. He stood up, knocking over his coffee cup. "I'm not going anywhere," he said, his voice trembling but firm. The man smiled, a chilling, predatory smile. "Then you leave us no choice." Jim knew what that meant. He turned and ran, disappearing into the darkness, the weight of the Lizard King heavy on his shoulders. He was running again, but this time, he was running for his very soul. He didn't know where he was going, or if he could ever truly escape, but he knew one thing: he would keep running. Keep searching, keep fighting for the truth, even if it meant running alone.